hang
No
out.
butt kissers.
No butt kissers. No ass eaters.
So yeah.
If this was written today, it would have been no ass eaters.
You know what I do with people who eat my ass, Richfield?
And it's a Medal of Honor.
I'm honored.
I follow them on Tumblr. I'm honored.
Honeys,
we're home.
Hello, and welcome to Sinclairity, a Dinosaurs Tale. I am your host. We're gonna need another Timmy, along with my co-host,
Hey, I'm Ben Handupme.
Ben Handupme. And today, we're doing episode 24. And Ben, what is the name of the episode?
We're going to be doing this one about season 2, episode 15, Power Erupts, which was aired on January 15th, 1992, which is just like a week before we're recording this.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
30 years ago, a week before we're recording this, to clarify. 29 years ago, whatever.
Yeah.
So how are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. I realized that now that we're in the Disney Plus era of the podcast,
So are we going to call the first 20 episodes the Attitude Era?
yeah, it's the Attitude Era, and I think we should start like saying like, oh, if you never listened to this podcast before, we talk about the Dinosaurs show on Disney Plus.
Yeah. we established this last episode that where right before we started I was like, maybe let's reintroduce what the podcast is like everyone else does on their podcast, and we never do. But this is Sinclairity. On Sinclairity we discussed the show Dinosaurs that Jim Henson dreamed up before he died, and it started airing in like 1991. 30 years later now, it's going on Disney Plus, so now we can all watch it and enjoy it. It's great.
Yep. So yeah. And today we'll be discussing the erupts, whatever. I was to say energy.
I already
erupts.
Fucking named the episode.
Yeah, I don't know.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely. That's the quote, at least. Yeah, we're discussing season 2, episode 15. It was written by Andy Goodman, who wrote the episode "How to Pick Up Girls," which was not the best of episodes.
Not at
Had
all.
some funny moments though, like Robbie peeing in somebody's yard to get their attention. Like, okay. And then it was directed by Rachel Bilson's grandpa.
Bruce Bilson.
Bruce Bilson. A man who deserves no introduction. Wait, no, needs no introduction. Wow. If you change that word, it makes it really insulting.
Yeah, and thank you to Marty and Sarah for pointing that out, because we probably would have never guessed.
I pointed it out, just to clarify. It's the first time I mentioned it, though. I don't know why that time I brought it up, but they were like, that's great because they're huge OC fans.
Yeah, I think that's why, because they're OC fans.
Yeah,
they
love original content.
I just love the theme song.
What you say?
No.
Is that it?
No.
No, it's whatever it takes.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So yeah, the summary for this episode is as a science project for school, Robbie comes up with the idea for tapping the geothermal energy of volcanoes to heat the homes of all of Pangea. The idea is taken seriously by the government, and Robbie seems to be a hero, except that his plan for free energy threatens the business interests of the Wesayso Corporation, which sells energy for a profit. When Wesayso puts the screws to Earl to squash his son's idea, I've never heard that phrase before, Earl is put in conflict with Robbie, which he's never in conflict with Robbie, so this is going to be a big one.
Wait, so did you write that, or did you read that?
I take these from something each time.
That's very interesting language.
Yeah, a lot of them, or sometimes I'll have to change it because they'll just not be true. Like the summary isn't correct. They'll say something weird. I'm like, that's not what happened.
Put the screws to. That's
put the screws to. I would have never said that.
Yeah.
I would have said like put some pressure on, or like
Under Pressure.
I would have just played the song Under Pressure by Ice Cube.
Ice Cube.
Vanilla Ice Cube.
Vanilla Ice Cube.
I was trying to make a dumb joke and it went too many layers away from the actual joke.
Either way, they both love Trump. So
Ice Cube doesn't love Trump. I don't believe that. Is that true?
He went... Okay, he claims that he was trying to do everyone a favor by getting Trump to listen to the quote-unquote black community. And he felt...
So he sent him the song "Fuck the Police."
He said, and he was like resentful. He's like, I was just trying to help everyone while everyone was making fun of him for reaching out to Trump.
We were at work the other day. We were talking about like during the inauguration, like what performer Trump would have had sing the national anthem or whatever. Not the national. Yeah, that's what it is. It's not a banger, but like essentially we're just like, there's no good musicians who like Trump.
Yeah,
and then
we're
like,
down.
Wheezy is it. 3 Doors Down like Trump? Huh.
Yeah, they're the only band that would play his inauguration.
That's fucking hilarious. I remember, what was the band? Third Eye Blind agreed to play some RNC event and then made fun of it the whole time during their set.
Yeah.
Which was great.
I knew about that one.
That was probably years after he told Eve 6 that he fucked his girlfriend.
Well, I'm sure this year, if Trump would have won, Trapped would have come. For sure.
Trapped definitely would have came through for that boy.
They need the money.
But like I was talking at work about it and like the only thing I think of was like I guess Wheezy. And then like about an hour after we were joking about that, we found out about him pardoning Lil Wayne. And that made it very clear as to why Lil Wayne was doing the photo op with him.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Lil Wayne and Ice Cube. That was the thing.
Yeah, but Ice Cube, he didn't even need a pardon, I don't think. So I don't even know what the point was.
He was just trying.
He pardoned him for "Are You There Yet?" Are we there yet? He made it okay that he made that movie.
And the sequels.
I bet the TV show's decent, but I've never watched it.
Well, yeah.
So here's some trivia about the episode, real quick. There's a shopper that's interviewed it, and it's voiced by Edie McClurg. Who did you ever see Planes, Trains, and Automobiles?
Yes.
Do you remember the scene where Steve Martin is cussing at the rental car agent for like 2 minutes, and then she's like, "You're fucked," back at him?
That's her?
That's her. That's that woman. She plays that role in like 80 things, like a Karen, essentially. She's Violet Stempleton in Rocket Power. Like, like literally, that's her character, is like a big orange-haired Karen.
That's great.
I love it.
That's great.
The title is based on an observation by Lord Action in 1887. Power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Great men are almost always bad. Bad men. It ends with bad men.
especially if they work for corporations.
Yeah. And then there's another trivia thing. I'm just going to bring it up naturally in the episode when it comes up because it's an interesting one. But also something I didn't notice until today is, did you ever watch the Boondocks? Not the Irish movie, the show?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember Ed Wunsler, like is like a rich guy, and then there was like Ed Wunsler the second was like he was like this rich guy, and his son was like one of the white rapper guys, or not really a rapper but a white gangster.
Yeah. It wasn't what famous white actor was the voice actor? I can't think of it right now.
Oh, I'm pretty sure like they were played by Samuel L. Jackson and someone else. Like they were played by black actors, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, no, but I'm talking about the older guy.
Ed Wunsler, it's played by Sam McMurray, who is in this episode as the Wesayso interview, and it's also Roy Hess.
Really?
Yeah, it's funny because I was looking at this up. I was like, this guy Sam McMurray in this episode, he's in a bunch of stuff. He was this grandpa on the show The Fosters who was like homophobic. He's like Ed Wunsler the second on Boondocks, and I was like, and he's Roy Hess. Like, yeah. I don't know why I never brought it up.
I was just thinking, like, because we're thinking of the same person, right? He's the guy from like the first episode where they go to his house party or whatever.
Yeah, the guy who talks about white people loving cheese.
Yeah,
or that. Cheese.
That episode when Riley, not Riley, Huey gives the speech about Ronald Reagan. Yeah.
Huey and Riley. It's still the same chick playing both of them. I'm fairly. What was her name? Regina King. She's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was a fun show. It was a even better comic in the newspaper. My grandma used to clip them for me because I liked them when I was a kid.
I never knew it was like a comic until someone showed it to me and were like, "Hey, they're making a show out of this." I'm like, "What?"
It wasn't syndicated in a lot of I feel like it wasn't like one of the bigger comics for a long time, but they had it in the Cincinnati newspaper.
Yeah, it must have not been because I didn't recognize it.
Comics are weird though. Like I always, whenever I was in a different state and there was a newspaper anywhere, I'd always go to the funny pages to see what they had because it was always different. But they all had Peanuts the redistributed Peanuts strips.
Peanuts,
and that's about it.
Peanuts, Spider-Man, Garfield,
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I've never seen Spider-Man in a comic.
I did.
In a newspaper, I mean.
Yeah. Maybe he's not there anymore, but...
You mean that guy's based on comics?
No, it's just
marvelous.
That's just Tom Holland on the weekends.
So this episode, welcome to our podcast. You can, if you want to contact us, you can hit us up at... I waited too long to do this, and now it sounds like we're ending the episode, which is really funny.
Yeah.
But no, before we get started in our playthrough of the episode, just if you want to follow us on Twitter and Instagram and whatever else fucking Mark Zuckerberg owns, it's at Dinosaurs Tale, at a Dinosaurs Tale.
Yeah. And
you can email us at sinclaritypodcast@gmail.com if you have any questions or you want to make fun of us or whatever it is. We'll accept it. If you
also, if you know
ask us out on dates,
if you know anyone who is has worked on this show or anything like that, let them know that we want to talk to them. Yeah,
I want them to know it was me. On that subject, I did mention to you that my friend Ricky's girlfriend is a puppeteer and obsessed with dinosaurs, and we got to get her on the.
Yes.
He has a recording studio set up at his house too, so she can record very well.
Yeah, I would definitely like that. That would be
We'll schedule that in the near future. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
To actually talk to a fucking puppeteer. Instead of just our fucking comedian friends and our musician friends and people that we like. We'll actually get somebody related to the industry.
Exactly. But
and then it will no longer be a ska podcast.
No. So should we get into the episode?
Yeah, let's get in the dirt. Let's go hard in the paint.
So the episode opens with the TV, the DNN special report.
The way all good episodes open with is with the TV gag.
And we get Howard Handupme, and he's
my dad.
He's giving a rundown of the explosion of Mount Thunder, and he's very he's talking
there's 1 foot of blanket of ash that has left thousands stranded in their homes, ravaging millions acres of farmlands, and then the real kicker is causing the following schools to be closed.
Yeah, and he starts naming off the schools.
So this is something that Tim never experienced in the same way that I did as a kid, because this is a snow day thing. You were in Florida. Oh, you were in Long Island for a little bit. You might have had a snow day.
Well, I only went to first grade. So I didn't.
Oh, you only went to first grade there.
Yeah.
For how many years? Just the one. I feel like in Long Island, you're more likely to get the news thing is just school's canceled today because that one creepy guy won't stop blocking the subway.
Well, it's not really New York, Ben. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh my god!
It's the suburbs of New York.
I just know that it's where Pete Davidson is from.
No, it's not.
Is it not Long Island? Yeah, it is.
He's from Staten Island.
Oh, yeah, I guess those are different. Staten Island's the island from Grand Theft Auto.
Staten Island's way different.
Let's cut this whole part so I look like I know of things.
No, I want every New Yorker to shame you.
Them and their fucking bagels.
Jeff Rosenstock will not like you anymore.
He's never liked me. He wrote a whole song. It's called I Don't Love You Anymore. It's all about me. But yeah, so they Bob La Brea High School, where Charlene and Robbie attend, they're off today for the Ash thing. They start to party around the house like animals.
Yeah, well, when he's listing them off, they're just yes, say it, Bob,
It made me think we were already at we're going to need another Timmy moment, which we weren't yet. But Baby gets excited too. Baby's just like, why? Like, wanted to know why they're excited. And Baby's like, I want to stay home from school. And they're like, you don't even go to school. He's like, can I? Like, why do you want to go to school? He's like, so I can stay home. They're like, well, you're already home. He's like, then I win. I have my way.
He's like, I got my way.
Yeah. And so the kids are told that they're acting like animals. Fran's tired of them. And then Earl hears on the news that Wesayso is also closed. So he comes in the room partying.
Yeah, he's really excited, and they're gonna like. He's like, all right. After we eat, I'm gonna go get the sleigh, and that's what Robbie says. And Charlene's like, I'm gonna make an ash man, and then
Earl's gonna watch daytime TV as Robbie knocks down the ash man that Charlene builds.
Yeah, and then so Earl turns on Ask Mr. Lizard.
Yeah, because he says daytime TV is like a whole nother world.
And
which it is. If you've ever stayed home from school, you know.
So we get, yeah, lots of Blue's Clues. That's what I would always watch for some reason.
I would watch Maury, Judge Judy, Jerry Springer, like
also
a bunch of commercials for community colleges. That's the main thing.
The SNL reruns on Comedy Central that they used to show.
God, I think we're dating ourselves.
I wish.
I wish I was dating me too. I'm great.
So yeah, so we get another Ask Mr. Lizard segment, and
yeah, where Timmy is learning about jet engine.
Yeah,
and Mr. Lizard tells him to climb inside to get a close look, and then he goes and hides behind the asbestos shield.
Yeah. He's like, keep looking.
Say it. He's gonna say it.
Yeah, they do. Say it. Earl and Baby.
Yeah, it's always them. They always get so excited together.
Yeah.
Mr. Lizard murders Timmy. And they all say, we're going to need another Timmy. And they just do the whole like, haha, he said it.
Yeah. And then Fran gets really frustrated. She's like, there's a lot of stuff to do around the house. And she's like, Earl, you're behind on paying the bills. He's like, what are you talking about? She's like, look, this one's stamped. It says pay now or die.
Yeah, at least they're still giving them a choice.
Yeah. And then we also get another interesting look at the gender dynamics of this house, because Fran's like, Robbie, don't you have a science fair to get ready for? And he's like, oh man. And then he's like, also Charlene, you can help me in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So,
so for this one, I would hope that it's a grade thing. Like maybe it's only the seniors or whatever doing the science fair, or the juniors.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's really 2 episodes ago we did the whole court case, and Charlene does the solar system build with the little cubes, which I have to bring up the consistency, the fact that the planets were shaped like cubes in that episode, but in this episode there's multiple times it shows the globe.
Yeah, well, I mean,
so we'll get into it.
It's just a flat surface anyway, so
in real life, but we're talking about in dinosaurs world where they think it's round. But sometimes they don't, sometimes they do. We're not talking about the ice dome that we live in real life.
Oh yeah,
with the ice walls.
We have
and the fucking birds that are robots that spy on us.
We have the jelly. We have the jelly dome.
We have the jelly dome.
Yeah, because that's
what I call my tummy.
That's what Fran suggests. She's like, "Oh, you can help me make a pot of grape jelly."
Yeah, and she shows this device to Charlene where it's these tubes that go up above the pot of jelly that infuse the flavors, and Charlene's like, that's stupid, and Robbie kind of clocks it away for later. He's like, that's interesting, but I can't find anything about this being a real thing that exists.
I don't think so. I think it was just ham-fisted. She could have been making anything and used that contraption.
Yeah, it was just a weird thing. It was just such a throwaway thing. She invented that. It didn't exist. It doesn't seem to exist in real life ever. I looked up a lot of videos about how to make jelly. One of them was just a video of pigs getting slaughtered, and it was called How to Make Jelly, and it's the #1 option on YouTube for how to make jelly, and it's not how to make jelly.
That's awful.
It was very confusing. I don't know why it has the most views. But yeah, so I don't know what the hell she is making there, but yeah, she is pigeonholing them. She wants Charlene to help in the kitchen and Robbie to get better at science.
Yeah.
So Robbie pleads to Earl to take, he's like, Dad, aren't you the boss around here? Who's the real boss in this house?
which is like so shitty that like
yeah, for his own designs, Robbie's going against his normal feminist nature.
Yeah, like it kind of proves our point that it was so performative of him what he was doing.
And it proves our other point of the fact that there's just too many different writers.
Yeah, that too. Well, this is the writer of How to Get Girls, so
exactly, that's true. He just thinks Robbie's supposed to be sexist. He's trying to red pill Robbie. He is Spike.
Yeah.
That's funny too, because this episode includes Spike. So this writer is like, "Bring my boy back. I made him."
And yeah, so we cut to Robbie in his room, and he doesn't. He remembers something his teacher said, which was that important inventions come from like commonplace things.
Yeah, the fortuitous combination of commonplace items, like something where they weren't thinking about it, but it happened. And then, like, in the vision of him, though, somebody throws something at him. He shouts, "Who threw that?"
He's like, "Whoever threw that, your mama's a hoe."
I fucking knew where you were going with it. I love it. I said, "Whoever threw that, your mom's a hoe." So Robbie's looking around his room, trying to combine some commonplace objects, which is a really silly scene because he does the whole sneakers with a pump. What a stupid idea.
Yeah, and then he fucking... Okay, so...
He had no idea that song "Pumped Up Kicks" was going to be really big in 30 years.
for like a week.
For like a week.
And then everyone forgot about it. I think I had a you moment, Ben, where I was just like, because the joke was so bad, I was like, I hate this.
Wow.
The peanut butter on my chocolate bar, I hated it.
I thought you like were saying the joke was so bad that it's something I would have said, but you meant like I was groaning at it.
Yeah, like all the fourth wall breaks that you hate. Like
Yeah, I just think it's like, I thought the Pumped Up Kicks was a little bit funny, but the peanut butter, I don't know. Maybe in 1991 it would have been funny, but like we've already seen this kind of shit on Family Guy a million times.
Yeah,
it's like,
it was stupid.
But... Yeah, so Robbie then imagines Howard Handupme describing the Ash Day, he's imagining him describe Ash Day and all the hot babes and cool dudes celebrating it and having, I quote, "the most fun that we've ever had."
Yeah, and then he gets his other thought bubble is his mom, who's just like, "You are gonna stay in your room and never have fun again."
Yeah, no fun forever. And then Earl pops in to be like, "Hey, somebody applaud the guy paying the bills," and then Fran kicks him out.
She's like, "Get out of Robbie's thought bubbles or whatever."
Thought bubbles. So Robbie's still like, everyone leaves the bubbles, but the backgrounds of them are still in like the bubbles. Like it has like the erupting volcano and the recycled jelly thing that his mom was working with, and then the heating bills that nobody wants to pay.
Yeah, and you can see the stamp that says "Pay now or die."
So he combines these all, and he has an idea to put that jelly lid on a volcano to create a renewable energy source.
Yeah. So
we go to our third scene now.
Mm-hmm. And Robbie is at the science fair, and
explaining his experiment to Spike, who does not. Spike. I love him in the scene because you can tell he's like, "I love this kid. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about."
Yeah, he's just like, light is overrated. I think interesting thing happened in the dark.
Yeah, he's a creep.
But yeah,
he's the guy in Greece where they're doing the "Tell Me More," and he's the one like, "Did she put up a fight?"
And Robbie's like explaining his experiment, like how the volcano erupts, the steam rises, and then the steam goes into people's houses, and then it can heat,
and they can play Counter-Strike and Half-Life on it.
Yeah, they can run an electrical turbine and heat their house.
Yeah,
and it would be clean, renewable energy, and
you wouldn't have to burn any rubber tires. Exactly.
So Robbie, and that's when Spike is just like, he's like, "Yeah, but I don't like the dark," and he's like, "Yeah, but then Robbie's sorry." This is terrible. Robbie.
Did you need any help? Just let me know.
No. And then he's like, what? Like, have you seen Billy Melman's project? He's like, you clap your hands and you turn the lights off.
They're getting real topical in this episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, Billy's inventing the clap. So like, Robbie's friend Spike is like, you know what? He's using shoddy equipment that's subject to fail. And like, he's doing his whole mafia hinting at like, what if like, I go over there and destroy it? And Robbie's like, no, it went fair and square. And then he's like, how have you managed to stay alive so long?
Exactly. That was great.
Spike is good in this episode. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. And then, so
what's up with Caroline in this episode though?
I don't know, but that scene is hilarious.
Where she's a nerd now.
And she's like,
oh, you see this this layer of air is. She sounds like the nerd from Simpsons, but a girl.
It's like, I love it because it's like the blue represents the regular air, and then the pink.
There's the hairspray layer.
The pink is hairspray,
and then green is sneezes.
Sneezes
The black
good.
stuff is space.
And he's like, hey, what are those 3 dots? He's like, oh, that's my grandparents and my dog who died.
He got hit by a truck. It's a very touching tribute.
The fucking sneeze layer, that was so great.
She sounds like she's about to sneeze any moment. The voice they give her, there's nothing listing what the voice actor is, but I feel like it's just Sally Struthers putting on a different voice.
That was my favorite thing. I love that diagram. And,
it was good.
And then he goes to the next one, but it's like a bunch of beakers with colors on it. I don't remember what theirs.
Yeah, no, in my notes I just go straight to like him asking Spike what he did, and Spike's like, I don't like projects.
Yeah, so he literally just looks around for things, and he sees a TV, and he punches it, and he just takes out the circuit board.
He's just like a Black Flag front man.
He's like, you could play Counter-Strike with this.
You can put a bird on it. So he gets to Robbie, and Robbie unveils the Sinclair Power Dome, which is the clean power, no pollution, and the teacher is like fucking blown away, obviously.
Yeah.
And Spike gives Robbie a high five, and it turns off Billy's clapper light. Clap on, clap off. I'm a millionaire.
Yeah. And then like instantly, it's just like we get like a newspaper, like saying like the elders love his idea, and then
there's a couple parodies. There's like Dawn of Time instead of Time, and it says Dome Sweet Dome is the title of it.
And then Reptile Weekly. Yeah,
this one says the lizard's a wizard. And Robbie Sinclair, class of 60 million and 3 BC, which implies that he's a senior.
Yeah, but he's not,
because that's what year it is, so it doesn't really make sense. Engineering genius, the Pangea Tribune. Elders agree to study his power dome.
Yeah, and then it cuts back to the house, and Earl is reading the newspaper.
He's excited,
but I love it because he's like, oh, what does it say? And he's like reading it, and he's like, oh wait, I lost it. Oh, there.
So yeah, I was watching this episode with a friend of mine, and they were like, "That's how I read anything. It's just like, oh, where's the words at? I forgot where they are." Yeah. So they Earl explains that they're securing the rights for Robbie's design, and Baby asks what that means, and Earl says it means the government's going to have to give us money for once.
They're actually going to have to give us money.
Somebody pinch me.
And then,
or better yet.
Yeah. And then Baby strikes him with the pan, and like Earl just kind of like looks at him, and Baby's just like, I love you. He's an evil, abusive piece of shit.
Yep. So is Earl, though.
Yeah.
So Earl paraphrases it, though. He says, it's money, 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 money. He's like, money, please.
We're rich.
He's like, but Robbie just is like, I don't care about fame or money. Like, and then he gets paparazzi by the fridge animals when he opens the fridge.
The fridge paparazzi.
I'm your greatest food. I'll follow you until you eat me. And then Earl wants to build a money fort, and Fran says those aren't good values to instill to our son. And Earl says, okay, but we can just buy new values. But Robbie, of course, he's just like, I don't really care. I just, like, it's the benefit of society. This is good for everyone.
Yeah, and which, like, almost immediately cuts to, it's basically
like a sitcom almost.
It goes like, Wesayso the corporate office, and in Richfield,
which is like Dr. Evil's lab or something.
Yeah.
Like, it's essentially like a round table, but it's just one evil guy across from a different evil guy.
Yeah, we meet Mr. Ashland, and
who's one of the puppets from the lawyers. That the scene with Monica, but I don't remember which lawyer he was. But that's one of them.
Was he Mason Dixon? I think he was.
If that's the one who was asking what underwear she was wearing, I feel like that's him.
Yeah, the creepy old man with the...
No, he wanted to see the picture. He wanted to see the picture of Fran on the lap. Yeah,
he's the one. He's the one who needed a moment after
the fantasy of the marmalade.
Yeah,
Lady Marmalade.
So yeah, Mr. Ashland is just like, this is terrible.
He's the lion. It's the lion from Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. Ashland.
He's Jesus.
I mean, Richfield would like to think he is.
Yeah, and they're just saying like, this is really bad, and Richfield is kind of like buttering him up, and he's just like, Richfield, I don't like a butt kisser. He's like, you know what I do to butt kissers.
And you see them mounted on the wall. It's what's his name, Seymour Grisnecki.
Yeah,
it's a head mounted on his wall that says butt kisser under it.
So yeah, Ashland's just like, he's like, look, we can't let people get free energy. Basically, it's like we can't let people think that they know what's best for themselves. Like we're never gonna.
Yeah.
We got to get back to those happy, carefree time where
they were having obscenely profitable reports that he said were positively scandalous.
Yeah.
So yeah, they think the dome risks putting them out of business, and Richfield, Ashland says he needs to take care of the Robbie situation, and Richfield's like, "You want me to eat him?"
He's like, no, we're executives.
We have lawyers for that.
And then the little puppet comes up.
Yeah, so now we get to meet another, like, an actual lawyer, because like we hear about like the offices of Spike back and whatever from the episode with the fight, the High Noon episode.
Uh-huh.
And like that, I remember Earl kind of says something about the creatures that crawled out of the sludge or whatever. So like, really, lawyers, they're like these little Muppets in a box.
But they're mammals too.
Yeah, well, because that's eventually what happened. I mean, it makes sense because they're going to take over.
Yeah,
they should have made them snakes, but then they wouldn't have gotten house loans.
Yeah, and then they certainly couldn't be lawyers.
You can't live in a house. You can't be a lawyer.
So, yeah. So he's basically just like, we need you to like keep an eye on Robbie. And Richfield's just like, you mean spy on him? He's like, no. Government spy. Corporation study.
Yeah, you're doing a private study on Robert Sinclair. And then Richfield's kind of following. He's like, so what should this conclude? Which is not how you look at a study. Like I guess you do have a hypothesis, but really they're trying to be like, how are we going to steer this?
Yeah, and he's basically just like, you just need to discredit him, make him look like a crazy person. Like
a crackpot.
Yeah, because
the whole thing is, it's a crackpot idea.
Yeah, because he's got no corporation behind him, and that's what you need.
Yeah, because Richfield starts to get it. He's like, but the dome, it seems like a great idea. It'll last forever without a service department or an extended warranty. You're like, that's because he isn't a corporation. We have to make those things happen. He's not a miracle worker. He's a perverse, twisted lunatic out to destroy everyone.
Yeah.
And so Richfield asks, like, so you want me to destroy an innocent boy just to protect corporate assets? I'm honored.
Yeah.
I like the dynamic between Richfield and Ashland is the same as Earl and Richfield. Like, it does, this corporate ladder climbs up in that way.
Oh, definitely.
Where, like, he's, like, overly obsequious, as Richfield calls Earl later in the episode.
Yeah, and yeah, like, Richfield, he's just the supervisor,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like, he's middle management.
Exactly. And so from there, after they do their evil laugh, which is great.
Yeah, they get to enjoy their evil laugh together, and Elliot pops back up out of the box, the lawyer.
They all start laughing, and then it cuts to a Wesayso commercial with this.
These are the best.
This is so great. I think.
I got a good tangent about what one is referencing from real life in 1992 as well that we'll get into.
Are you talking about the tire fire energy?
No, I'm talking about the thing about the prisoners having furloughs.
Oh yeah. Well, that's like immediately after this, or is it part of?
Yeah, there's two commercials in a row. Yeah, it's in a row.
Yeah.
So the first energy commercial is like the scientist being like, a high school boy believes we can get energy from a mountain. Do you see any energy coming out of that mountain? No. But you see it coming out of these tires where it belongs.
Yeah. And then it comes to the end. It's like they've been providing
taking care of us for 30 million years.
Yeah, so we don't like it when you're ungrateful to us.
Yeah, it says, we say so. We really don't like having our feelings hurt. And the logo, though, is a spherical Earth that it's going around. That's what's funny to me. Like, it's a globe.
Yeah, that's just the globalists influencing us.
You can't say globalist. It's a dog whistle for Jew. I know that you're aware. But I want to make sure everyone listening knows that we don't listen to Joe Rogan. Or, we don't listen to the guy from Bon Iver? Alex Jones.
The Flat Earth podcast?
No, I was talking about Alex Jones because there's like the how do you pronounce that band? Ben Idol.
Oh,
Bon Iver or Bon Iver.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I will always say it wrong on purpose, like Surf Jam Stevens.
Oh, I'm saying. Oh yeah, I'm thinking that is what Alex Jones says all the time. But what do
globalists? Yeah,
but that's not. Damn, that's not what the flat.
You're thinking it. That's not what the flat earthers say. They don't say globalists. No.
Yeah,
they say something about globes, but like.
Yeah,
that's why I had to clarify. I was like, that's the wrong fringe.
I apologize to all you Alex Jones fans out there.
That's not who you should be apologizing for dog whistling globes. Anyway, so we're good people, I promise. And we say so have taken care of you and your family for over 30 million years, which is less time than Mel Luster's dance studio has been in operation. Just to clarify, just to keep that on there, that started 72 million BC, which is 42 million years before this episode.
That's insane.
Wait, no, that's only 12 million years before this episode. BC always fucks me up like that. I'm not smart.
You gotta count down.
Yeah, you're right. Mel Luster is halfway between when We Say So started and when the show started.
Because he at least needed electricity to keep the lights on at his dance studio.
Yeah, and I'm overemphasizing his first name Mel because we kept calling him Mo for a year, and then I realized it's Mel.
Yeah,
it's Mel Luster. The worst joke in the series so far. And it was the second episode.
Yeah. So then it immediately cuts to the second commercial.
Well, no. Fran says it's a load of blank, and then Baby gets excited because he thinks he's going to cuss. But yeah, then it's the next commercial, which is like this guy interviewing that woman I mentioned earlier from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah, and he's like, have you heard about the Sinclair energy dome? And she's like, yes.
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And he's like, did you know it was created by a high school student?
Who failed science class last year?
Who failed science. And also, we have been told that after gym class, he doesn't shower. Ew.
It sometimes doesn't shower.
Sometimes doesn't shower.
Or doesn't always.
And did you also know that he wants furloughs?
He never has denied favoring prison furloughs for convicted murderers. So this is a direct reference to a George H.W. Bush ad campaign against Michael Dukakis.
Really?
Yeah, it was these commercials that are known for setting a tone of like using racial bias in campaign ads. Mm-hmm. Because it was like it was depicting, like, it was showing like pictures of black felons or murderers who were in prison and being like, under Dukakis they would be allowed out for the weekend, and this guy was let out for a weekend and he stabbed this guy 19 times and repeatedly raped this woman, and like it was just a picture of a black dude, and like
Jesus.
It was this thing they kept like doing these ads about his revolving door prison policy and his weekend pass for prisoners, and they were like it's monumental. I was reading a thing about it earlier about how that tone of politics like is still played out today. Obviously it is, but that's kind of like one of the moments where it became like highlighted.
Oh yeah, I guess the modern equivalent would be like build that
any Trump ad.
Build that wall, yeah. Like
yeah. Because there was one against Dukakis that was just like about the Democrats just let anyone into the country, including this murderer. Who else will they let in next?
Just that one murderer.
Just that one murder. That's the same way that like Breitbart does like articles. I remember I do a lot of like I search against my confirmation bias while researching just to find out like how people get stuck in these like holes that they get stuck in. Mm-hmm. But it's like a wild experience. Like you read like a Breitbart article and they'll do a thing where it'll be like an article that nobody else is reporting on about some murder somewhere, and they'll do the article normal, like they're just reporting the facts, but like a lot of the facts, if you actually look into it, they just have one arrest report with nothing else. They're just building a story based on it. And then they'll mention like that the guy who committed the murder, he was like a 14-year-old Mexican male who was a non-documented immigrant. And then it'll have like a chart showing how many of the non-documented immigrants are in his age group and how many of them are men. And essentially they don't say it outright, but they're implying like all of them are murderers. Like that's the whole like goal for the article, but they never say it. It just leads you down like it's using actual facts in a way that's like creating a bias in your head where like, well, if this is true and this is true, but it's like not comparing them to the actual like ratios against like the rest of the demographics and the rest of murder cases and like whether it has any basis on any legislature. It's stupid.
Exactly. It's like black on black crime.
I hate these people. Yeah, they bring it up every time. It's like you don't care about these issues ever except for when you're trying to straw man an argument. That's why it's so annoying.
Exactly. And that's why the people the Ku Klux Klan who murdered a police officer would say
they don't care about that one cop.
Yeah, they do not care.
I guess blue lives don't matter then, huh? So we were right.
Exactly.
You heard it here first.
Exactly.
Blue lives don't matter.
So
except Smurfs.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is all about Robbie Sinclair and his Superdome.
Yeah.
Back to that.
But they I love it though when he's finishing talking to the woman, he's just like
talking.
He's like the talking.
The talking. That's our next podcast. It's the worst.
I think he's like, do you trust the smelly dropout? Like a smelly
yeah,
dropout.
It takes the fact that he sometimes doesn't shower. He failed one class once, which I don't believe that's true either. But like, they're gonna call him a smelly dropout. I'm pretty sure he was a C student for a while. Then he gets like some A's every now and then. Like he does well.
Do you think he failed because his anatomy project ran away?
Yeah, it's possible. Or like because he didn't agree that dinosaurs were big, so they should rule.
That's true. Yeah, but
there's a few times he's gone against the teacher's wishes.
Yeah. So yeah, they call him a smelly dropout, and then the ad.
Wesayso, that's common sense.
Yeah, and then the ad ends again with the globe, and then it says, "We always shower after gym class."
Yeah, Wesayso. We always shower after gym class. That's like probably the peak of the episode. That's probably one of the funniest things that happens in this episode.
Yeah, so
because we always shower after gym class.
Yeah.
Fran is speaking out loud about it though, and she's just like, the public can't be that easily manipulated.
And then we see Robbie comes home and everyone's throwing shit at him, and he tells them to suck tar.
Yeah, suck tar, which is like where the dead people go to die.
And he closes the door, and she's like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And he's just like, "Yeah, all these people hate me, blah blah blah." And she's like,
"All I did was try to help them."
Yeah, and she's like, "Well, I can't believe anyone would like sink that low or whatever." And then Earl comes
and she
home.
says you always have the support of your family.
Yeah, and then Earl comes home. He's like, "You're out of here."
Yeah, but get out of my house.
He's like, "We're gonna have to get reconstructive surgery and
new address."
Yeah.
It's funny because like he was like, "You said this is gonna make us rich," and then right when he references having to get relocation, and like he's like, "You can't possibly believe that," and then just the baby says, "Not the baby," and you look over and he's like dressed like a sound guy.
Yeah, he's dressed like someone who would hang out at the Herbo bar.
He's got like the beer and the cool sunglasses and the hat,
the beret. Yeah,
the beret. That was great.
like Triple H.
Not the baby.
Not the baby.
which is a good line too.
Yeah, and he's just like, I don't understand. He's like, but Dad, I was trying to help everyone. It's like, you just put a knife right in their heart.
Yeah, Wesayso has acted basically as our sadistic parent for years.
Yeah, it's like, of course it's true. It's all over TV.
Yeah, and then Fran mentions that it's lies, and he's like, it's temporarily accepted by the masses, so it's the truth. Which is real.
Yeah, and they plead for him to be rational. He's like, what do you mean, rational? Like that crazed mob outside our house?
No, he says, Dad, you're not being rational, and he's just like, oh, sure, and I suppose the crazed mob isn't being rational either. That was a very, like, Homer Simpson line there.
This episode was very Simpsons-esque, for sure.
Okay, you felt the same way, because multiple times I was like, this feels like The Simpsons. Like,
yeah. It's very a Lisa, it's like a Lisa Homer episode.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. Robbie's the Lisa of this show, obviously.
Yeah. But almost immediately after he gets home, the phone rings, and Earl picks up the phone, and it's Richfield, and he's like yelling at him, like,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's like, he immediately says, I'm sorry. He's like, why are you apologizing?
I'm sorry if my apology offended you.
He's like, you gotta stop. And he's
stop being so obsequious. That was never my intent, Your Majesty. He just fucking bites into it.
Yeah, and he's like, I just want to, let's talk about our friendship. He's like,
we have a friendship?
Yeah. He's like, I want to invite you and your whole family to eat with me. And he's like, and
whole family.
Yeah, and he's like, don't forget, you got to bring your whole family. So Earl's like, but Earl's elated.
Yeah, of course. He's like kind of bouncing around, and like Richfield's like, ugh, and gets off the phone, and then Richfield and Ashland revel in their evilness.
Yeah, they laugh together. And we cut to, they're back at Le Predator.
Le Predator.
Yeah.
Bonsoir. Bonsoir. Escargot.
Yeah, that was great.
Why is that the way they greet everyone at this restaurant? Bonsoir.
Well, I thought, didn't like, Fran and Charlene greeted the front person in French.
I think,
but Earl said escargot.
But I don't even know what bonsoir means. I know what bonjour means, but what's bonsoir?
I don't know.
I think it was fake French.
Probably.
If anybody French is listening to this, turn it off.
Yeah, because we.
No, I'm just playing. Can you correct us on this? Because I'm not sure if I know what a bonsai tree is.
Yeah. So while he's waiting though.
Oh, it means good evening. Never mind.
Oh, okay.
Bonsoir. So so Staten Island and Long Island, same guy. Bonsoir isn't a word. I'm looking real smart
guy.
Yeah, same guy. What do you mean?
Just one guy.
It's the same guy.
Pete Davidson.
It's all Pete Davidson and the main character from Grand Theft Auto 3.
Yeah. But when he's before they sit down though, Richfield's there. He's like, yeah, keep this coming, but give them the cheap stuff.
Yeah, he wants the good full-bodied red wine, but fuck them.
Yeah. And so right before they sit down, Robbie pulls like Earl aside. He's like, I don't feel good about this, and Earl's like, you know what? Don't mess this up. Now let's go suck up.
He's extending a hand of friendship. Don't like turn it down or he'll kill us.
Yeah. And
so Richfield's so bad at this. Like, that's what's so funny to me is like he just like wants to rush through the motions where he's like, lovely family, don't want to meet them, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, he's like not
enough small talk.
Yeah, he's like not interested.
Yeah. He just wants to skip straight to it. He's like, enough small talk to friendship, everybody clink glasses.
And the baby has his like bottle. He's like, someone clink me.
Yeah, since he won't do it, this is when he launches it at Richfield.
I love that.
Which is great.
I wish there was a story arc in this where baby is the downfall of the Wesayso Corporation.
That should be how it goes eventually. It's just like Sarah Shockey's theory of baby being a reincarnated great grandfather of Earl.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the baby throws the thing at Richfield, and they're like worried, and Earl's like, "So this is how it all ends, huh? Shall I expose my underbelly, sir?"
Yeah. And then I love it. Like,
don't be silly.
Charlene, she's like getting so fed. She's like, "Oh my, can't you see? Robbie's trying to sell us up a river."
We're not there yet, Tim.
We aren't?
No. So he says he's going to expose his underbelly, and then Richfield says, "How can I be so mad at such an April fresh bundle of snuggly goodness?" Gucci goo. Baby throws his bread at him.
The whole thing, the whole basket.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
And then he's like, asked the waiter for 2 slices of bread so he can make a sandwich out of Baby. And this is when Robbie cuts in to tell Richfield that he can see through his bullshit.
Yeah.
And Earl's like, "No, we can't, sir." And he says, "Ixnay on the honest day," which is almost pig Latin.
I love it too, because Richfield's just like, "All right, we're willing to pay you $500."
Yeah, because he's like, it's unpopular with the public now, so the elders don't want it. Let's level, kid. And then Earl fails his poker face immediately and is just like, "Whoa."
Also,
money, please.
There is that part though, like he's when so this is the part where Charlene says that Robbie's
what happens is like, no, because he starts Richfield ups it to 1,000 final offer, and Robbie says no sale, and like Earl's like, "Stop talking," and then he says 5,000. Earl's like, "Keep talking." Because so this is where Earl starts to think that's a ruse.
Yes.
And like thinks that Robbie's like a negotiator, and like Fran and Baby and Charlene try to explain to him that he's not negotiating, and like Fran's like, "I'm proud of him," but like Earl just keeps winking at them all.
Yeah, but then he also makes a statement where he's like, I don't know this kid. He's like, "I don't even know when he was born. I was in Babylon," or something like that.
Yeah, he says, "Might not even be mine. Charlene mine." For sure, 100%. But I was in Babylon when Robbie was born. Could be anybody's.
And he means Babylon, Long Island, New York. That's what he means.
That's what he means. It's Staten Island. Babylon Island. It's where babies go to be in Long Island. Baby Long Island.
Are you in need of legal assistance? Well, you're in luck, because finding a lawyer has never been easier. Just contact the law offices of Spikeback, Ribcrusher, and Finsky. Whether you're a male who needs to challenge another male to a fight to the death, or an important business executive who needs someone to eat your enemies for you, we will do all the dirty work for you. Because hey, we didn't crawl the sleds for nothing. If you're a snake trying to get a home loan or a female trying to sue your boss for sexual harassment, well, please seek legal help elsewhere. We aren't miracle workers, we're just lawyers. Call 1-800-LAW-HELP today. And hey, we might not be the best lawyers, but we do happen to be the only lawyers.
So Robbie is explaining to his dad, like, "If I sold it, I'd be no better than Mr. Richfield," which pisses Mr. Richfield off. "No better than me? Why, you snot-nosed twerp, I oughta." And then Earl nuts up for once in his life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's like, "You shouldn't have talked to my son like that." And then Richfield's like, "What?" He's like, you don't think?"
Like, have you forgotten who you're talking to? He's like, "Yes, sir, I have." "Until I remember, I'm also going to say, I don't care if you have enough money to buy the dome or the whole lousy volcano."
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Which is he sells it. Richfield immediately flies away from the table. Like,
yep. But also,
check, please.
Also, I love it too, though, because the thing that like gets Earl to like nut up, besides him insulting Robbie, is Baby too just hits him with a plate. It's just like,
yeah,
it's like,
wise up.
yeah, exactly.
Tells him to wise up, and he starts to actually get like pays attention more. And then the thing about his son being insulted like that, like he can't stomach that even from Richfield.
Yeah.
So at least that's the one time it happens before where he's like, "Just you yelling at me is fine, but it doesn't seem right when you yell at my family."
Yeah, that's what happens in the Job Wizard episode.
Yeah, exactly. So Robbie's had a run-in with Richfield before and does not care for him at all, or does not think he matters. Exactly. Robbie's just over him.
Exactly. So
now we're back home though, because Earl's stuck with the check.
And we come home and it's my
daddy's on TV.
A DNN special report in the business sector, and basically Wesayso bought Mount Thunder and all.
Yeah, they bought all the ground around it and under it. And they said they'll allow Mount Thunder to be capped by Free Energy Dome after a series of safety tests, which it will take 100 million years
to
conduct. Yeah.
And
So Robbie's kind of feeling like kind of apathetic. He's like, so I did all this for nothing. Complete waste of time.
yeah, and I love like Earl. Like Earl's just like, he's like, you know what I realized? He's like, I always thought, you know, work was just there to make me miserable, but it turns out they want everyone to be miserable.
He's like, I don't think I would have known it if it wasn't for you, kid. And then we get the final "We Say So" close out, where it's like, "We say so. We know what you want. We know what you need. We know where you live."
And then it just ends.
Which is Facebook. I think that's Facebook's slogan.
Yeah, that's what Mark Zuckerberg has on his wall instead of "Live, Laugh, Love." He just has.
He has a picture of me, and he has darts he throws at it. Let's be real. He's obsessed with me.
So yeah, this was like another. This was a lot like, I know we're finished up, but it's a lot like Refrigerator Day, where
like the anti-corporation one,
episode on the major TV corporation show.
Yeah, which is just how it always goes.
Yeah.
I mean, where else are we gonna do this at? Just in our living room where we're all like bitching about corporations
on YouTube or something?
TV show. On YouTube. Now listen here, Snowflake. But yeah, so it was. I thought it was a good episode.
I love all the We Say So, all that stuff, like all the commercials and stuff is.
Yeah, all those ads were a lot of fun.
Very funny, and yeah. So basically, Robbie was like Ralph Nader. They Ralph Nadered him.
Look at how they Ralph Nadered my boy.
Because like Ralph Nader, you know, he wanted that electric car so bad, and they're like, "You're crazy, Ralph Nader."
And then years later, Grimes was born.
And then she gave Dave Chappelle coronavirus.
And it all comes full globe.
That's right.
Full circle.
God.
Yeah, so I don't know. It was a good world building episode too. I feel like
it was. Yeah,
it's definitely doing it more of like they're making it clear that this is supposed to be like all of it's supposed to be satire reflecting human life, but through dinosaurs, with the lens of the fact that we know that the dinosaurs ended up dying because of it.
Yeah, the greed of the corporations and the dinosaurs basically is what.
Yeah, and that's what it's setting up throughout these things, and like we're all watching it, just like knowing it's happening, and it's 30 years later, it's even more prescient. Like it's like fuck.
Yeah, because the world
we've made no advances; we've only gone worse.
Yeah, we have no clean energy basically, and no one wants to invest in it because it's crazy. It will take our jobs away.
Oh God.
So
all our coal mining jobs, we're gonna lose them all.
Yeah, exactly. So
we're not gonna get black lung anymore. Oh, it sucks.
The new Green Deal is just Maoism, don't you know?
See, this all links it together because it's like the time Jesse Michaels from Operation Ivy called me a neo-Maoist, and he had the only good energy source, which is the album Energy.
It kept Lookout Records alive for years.
It's true. It was a renewable source of energy. It even helped Hellcat get off the ground when it was reissued.
Exactly.
Jesus.
So yeah,
I mean, not Jesus. Who did we side with Jesus earlier? Oh yeah, Mr. Ashland.
Mr. Ashland,
the lion.
Asland.
Assland, titty land.
No,
it's the places I hang out.
No butt kissers.
No butt kissers. No ass eaters.
So yeah.
If this was written today, it would have been no ass eaters.
You know what I do with people who eat my ass, Richfield?
And it's a Medal of Honor.
I'm honored.
I follow them on Tumblr. I'm honored. So yeah, thanks for joining us for this episode.
Yeah, and
we were trying to do a couple episodes without a guest because we were oversaturated with guests for a while.
Yeah, and we figured you guys just liked us a lot, so.
Yeah, you just want to hear us. You don't want to hear our funnier, more talented guests.
Not at all.
But I think maybe next episode we might have a guest. We'll figure this one out.
Yeah.
Oh no, not for the clip show. That would be weird.
Oh yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah, because next episode, season 2, episode 16, the clip show, which was released January 22nd, 1992, and it was written by the same guy who wrote this one, but there's not much writing involved. There's like a frame, but it's like a clip show. Like it's like in sitcoms where they get stuck in a closet and they have to watch the past 2 seasons.
Yeah, or like on The Simpsons where they tell a story, like they reminisce about something that happened in an old episode.
Well, that's what I call a sticky situation.
Yeah, I tried to dissuade Ben from doing an episode about the clip show, but
it's weird if we don't, though. In my opinion,
it's weird, but it's just like
we talk about nothing anyway. We might as well have it, because that's essentially what it's going to be. Is we're not going to have that much framework to base our conversation on.
We'll figure something out. I mean,
yeah, we'll make it fun. We'll make it fun for you, cool cats and kittens.
Regardless, we just want you to come back and listen to us and tell your friends and share.
Yeah, why don't you tell all your friends?
Share it and like us and leave a comment.
Speaking of corporations, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Dogpile, Ask Jeeves, Lycos, Bing.
And if you're lucky, you can find all our data that was stolen from our Parler account. And
so you really were saying globalists like that? Isn't Parler dead already?
That's
hilarious.
That was the joke I was making.
Yeah. I get it, because the data... Okay, now I get it.
Yeah, there was
I get it.
a data breach.
Long Island, Staten Island, same guy.
Oh my god.
It's all just... It's whatever. New York, everybody knows New York has eight boroughs where all the Weasley family lives.
I don't even know what Ben's talking about right now, but
this is gonna fade into credits. Thanks to Jeremy from Scott's Network for our theme song. Thanks for Amy Shenanigans for doing our logo, and thanks for Zachary George for the editing.
Yes.
Thanks for Zachary George. Thank you. I'm talking to God right now. I'm on the phone with God, asshole.
Also,
thank you for Zachary George.
Also, if you haven't yet, go check out Dinosaurs. If you want to catch up, you can watch it on Disney Plus. You can catch up in the podcast, and
catch up on a hot dog,
and then email us and tell us what you think.
Yeah, Sinclaritypodcast@gmail.com.
Also, if you
my other email is elon@musk.com.
Also, if you've already like caught up with it and everything, let us know if they did take out any of the episodes that we have discussed, because I'm really interested in that.
Oh yeah, that's true. Like if you notice anything is different from like what we said it was, that'd be a cool thing to talk about.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll probably notice it before you, but if you notice it, let us know.
I'm definitely going to be rewatching the series immediately when it's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see if sexual harassment and even if that
Tim's favorite episode,
even if the episode is up, see what they took out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I woke up today and thought it was the 29th for a minute and got really excited, then remembered it wasn't. I'm so excited for this fucking show to launch on Disney Plus
next week. Next week we'll be millionaires come Saturday.
All right, so thanks for joining us, and I hope you enjoy your extinction.
Yes. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.